I'm Jonathan Swingler. There's been plans to charge tourists in parts of the region an extra tax on their hotel bill. But what if you were charged simply for driving into an area, whether you stayed or not? It's an idea being floated in Keswick and is already proving to be controversial. Ed Hansen reports.
Even in February, you can see why around 18 million people came here last year. But with those numbers, how also can it be protected and sustained? One idea, paying to bring your car.
As a tourist, I think I'd be happy to pay that.
If it helps manage the problem, then I guess a small charge wouldn't go amiss.
What do you think of the idea of paying to bring your car into the Lake District?
I don't really mind that at all. I think when you're using the facilities and you've got all these wonderful assets around, I think giving something back in that sense is absolutely fine. I wouldn't quibble with that.
I think if there was a proper way of a sustainable travel way in here, with buses or trains, then there'd be an option. But there isn't really another option than coming in a camper van if you're stopping at a campsite that charges you a lot of money for 3 nights.
This week, a government consultation closed on paying a tourist tax, a bit extra for you staying overnight. But here in Keswick, a meeting of business owners revealed the car option was preferred.
80% of the people are day trippers, and therefore it would mean that we would get probably more income in there. And we're talking the millions of pounds just by a levy of, say, £1 or £2.
Here we are in our main house auditorium, looking out from the stage into the auditorium.
It's not a new idea, but raises a lot of questions for places like this, such as how do you define a day tripper?
What we are mindful of is that there are plenty of locals who live outside the National Park in Cumbria, but who visit the National Park for local facilities, essential services and cultural attractions like our own. What we wouldn't want would be to penalise those locals, our local audience, and discourage them from coming.
The government has no plans to consult on a car levy at the moment, something businesses want to change. But so far, everyone is agreed on what the price should be.
As long as the money that's raised in Keswick could be spent in Keswick, I think people would be quite happy. But with the vehicle levy, you can only spend it on things to do with vehicles. So it's bus routes or cycle paths and things like that. Whereas the bed tax, we might be able to build a new swimming pool, for instance, which is what everybody in town wants.
At Easter, this World Heritage Site will be a much busier place, and inevitably there'll be more discussions on how that can be managed and who pays. Ed Hansen, BBC Look North in the Lake District.
A man's been charged with murder after an attack in Sunderland. Peter Graham, who was 52, suffered serious injuries and died at an address in Hastings Street in the Hendon area of the city on Tuesday. Gary Howe, who's 32 and lives locally, has been charged with murder, sexual assault and assaulting an emergency worker. The government is under pressure to provide more money for Hartlepool as the Labour Council there struggles to fulfil a pledge to freeze council tax. Councillors postponed a decision on the borough's budget last night after it became clear that without a rise, big budget cuts would be needed. The area's MP and councillors are due to meet the government next week. Now, a Ukrainian artist who fled Kyiv after the Russian invasion says the constant fear over her loved one's safety never eases. As the 4th anniversary of the Russian invasion approaches, Anna Shervil was speaking after attacks recently intensified on the country's energy infrastructure. She's one of 280 artists whose work is currently on display at Northumberland's open exhibition at Woodhorn Museum.
It's really difficult. It's really difficult when I can't reach my family, when I know that there are some blackouts, and I'm thinking, is it something terrible happened, or it just black out and they don't have electricity? But yeah, I just have a hope that it will be ended.
The man who will pilot the restored Bluebird hydroplane when it returns to Coniston Water later this year says he hopes to do the record-breaking vessel justice. World Water Speed Record challenger Dave Warby will be in the cockpit of Donald Campbell's hydroplane during the Bluebird K7 Festival in Cumbria in May. Campbell lost his life on the lake in 1967 when he attempted to break his own water speed record. A drag queen who became the first to appear on Strictly Come Dancing has opened her first exhibition in her hometown on Teesside. Her voire's rise to fame from her roots in Stockton is being documented at the town's Preston Park Museum. The exhibition, which holds a collection of items from her time in RuPaul's Drag Race and Strictly, open to the public today and will run until the end of June.
You don't wake up and think, oh, I'll just pop down and, look at that exhibition about me. I mean, that's the whole thing about my whole career and my whole journey has been about other people, entertaining other people, making them laugh, thinking about jokes and comedy and songs and putting together theatre shows, TV shows I've been in, and all mastering it for the people. And it's a bit strange.
Now, how's the weather looking heading into the weekend? Here's Paul with the forecast.
Good evening. The mild weather set to stay with us over the next few days, but it will be unsettled. That means it will be wet and windy at times for many of us. We head into this evening and through the night, 1 or 2 showers around, but some decent clear spells. Stays breezy though, and the cloud thickens up to bring some more rain into western areas later in the night. Temperatures won't drop any lower than about 5 or 6 Celsius with those gusty westerly winds. So that early rain passes through to the east as we head into tomorrow morning. Then it's drier for a time, few bright spells here and there before more rain eventually spreads in from the west later in the day. It will be mild again. Some of that rain could be heavy at times, especially over the high ground. A brisk southwesterly breeze, highs around 11 or 12 Celsius. 1 or 2 showers on Sunday, not many, still breezy, rain on Monday.
That's all from the late team. Thanks for joining us. Look North has bulletins over the weekend, of course.